The world celebrates Chuck Norris as a symbol of invincibility, a man whose strength became the stuff of legend and humor. He is remembered as a martial arts champion, an action film star, and the face of countless jokes about superhuman power. Yet beneath that myth lies a far more complex and human story. Behind every punch and stoic expression was a man shaped not just by triumph, but by pain, fear, and loss. To understand his journey, we must look beyond the legend and uncover the fragile beginnings that defined the man long before the fame ever found him. A childhood marked by fear. Chuck Norris was born into a world that offered little comfort or security. His early years were overshadowed by poverty and a home filled with tension and violence. His father, a troubled and alcoholic man, brought instability and fear into daily life. Instead of encouragement or affection, young Chuck experienced harsh words and physical punishment. Home was not a refuge, but a place to endure. These early experiences left deep emotional scars, shaping how he saw himself and the world. The foundation of his life was not confidence, but survival in an environment where love was rarely expressed. The silence of invisibility. At school, Chuck did not find the escape he needed. Instead, he became invisible in a different way. Shy, anxious, and unsure of himself, he struggled to connect with others. He avoided attention, sitting quietly and hoping not to be noticed. His worn clothes and timid nature made him easy to overlook. He wasn't the target of constant bullying, but that absence of recognition created its own kind of pain. Being unseen reinforced the belief that he did not matter. This quiet isolation deepened his insecurities and made it even harder to imagine a future where he could stand out or succeed. Poverty and constant change. Financial hardship added another layer of instability to his childhood. His family moved frequently, chasing uncertain opportunities and leaving behind any chance of stability. Each new town meant starting over, never forming lasting friendships or a sense of belonging. Life was defined by scarcity, whether it was food, comfort, or hope. Chuck learned to adapt quickly, but never felt rooted anywhere. This constant upheaval reinforced the idea that life was unpredictable and uncontrollable. Instead of dreaming about the future, he focused on getting through each day, carrying a growing sense of uncertainty about what his life could become. The weight of a father's words. The emotional impact of his father's criticism stayed with him long after the moments had passed. Being told repeatedly that he was worthless carved a painful narrative into his mind. These words became internalized, shaping how he judged himself in every situation. Even when opportunities appeared, doubt followed closely behind. He questioned his abilities and feared failure before even trying. This internal struggle became one of his greatest challenges. Long after he left his childhood home, the echo of those harsh judgments remained, influencing his decisions and making every step forward feel like a battle against his own beliefs. Escaping without healing. At 18, Chuck joined the Air Force, not out of ambition, but as a way to escape his troubled home. It was a chance to leave behind the chaos and pain that had defined his early life. However, distance did not bring healing. The emotional wounds he carried did not disappear with a change of environment. Instead, they followed him, shaping his experiences in new and unfamiliar surroundings. The uniform gave him a new identity on the surface, but internally, he still felt like the same uncertain young man searching for purpose and direction in a world that often felt overwhelming. Isolation in a foreign land. Stationed far from home, Chuck found himself in an unfamiliar culture that deepened his sense of isolation. Surrounded by others who seemed more confident and connected, he struggled to find his place. Social interactions felt intimidating, and he often withdrew into himself. The loneliness he experienced was not just physical, but emotional. He felt disconnected from those around him and unsure of how to bridge that gap. This period forced him to confront his inner struggles more directly. Without the distractions of home, he faced the reality of his self-doubt and the need to find a new path forward, a chance encounter with purpose. Everything began to shift when Chuck discovered martial arts. Watching others practice with discipline and control sparked something within him. For the first time, he saw strength that was not rooted in anger or fear, but in focus and self-mastery. Gathering the courage to step inside, he took a risk that would change his life. Training was not easy, but it gave him a sense of direction he had never experienced before. Each lesson offered not just physical improvement, but a growing belief that he could become more than the person he had always believed himself to be. Discipline as transformation. Martial arts became more than just a skill. It became a path toward rebuilding his identity. Through consistent training, Chuck developed discipline, confidence, and resilience. The structured environment allowed him to challenge himself in ways that felt safe and constructive. Slowly, the self-doubt that had defined him began to weaken. He started to see progress not just in his abilities, but in his mindset. Each achievement, no matter how small, reinforced the idea that he was capable. This transformation did not happen overnight, but it marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life. Success and its hidden costs. As Chuck's skills grew, so did his opportunities. He eventually rose to prominence, achieving success in martial arts and entertainment. However, success did not erase his past. The insecurities and emotional wounds he carried continued to influence his life behind the scenes. Fame brought recognition, but it also introduced new pressures and expectations. Balancing public perception with private struggles became a challenge. The image of strength he projected often masked the ongoing effort required to maintain his sense of self. His journey revealed that external success does not always resolve internal conflicts. Outro. Strength. Redefined. Chuck Norris's story is not just about physical strength or public achievement. It is a testament to resilience in the face of deep emotional challenges. His journey shows that true strength is not about never experiencing fear or failure, but about continuing to rise despite them. The legend that the world celebrates is only part of the story. The real power lies in his ability to confront his past, grow through adversity, and redefine what it means to be strong. In the end, his life reminds us that even the strongest figures are shaped by vulnerability and the courage to overcome it.